This video response is going to go out to the rock band ABBA, and that's because this is going to be a full-scale review of your latest album called Voyage. I did listen to all 10 tracks on the actual album. I have actually reviewed a couple of them previously in another video, and I'm going to put a hyperlink to that particular review right down here in the comments below. But before I begin this particular review, I wanted to let you guys know, in case you're watching this and you're not ABBA, that I actually have 5 Kindle books on my on Amazon Kindle right now, and you can actually buy them. If you're interested, just ask me and I'll send you links to them, and you can actually go ahead and check them out. They're $5 a piece. Go check them out. You'll love them. Anyway, on with the review. So, last year I promised to review the songs on the ABBA Voyage album. In a previous video I reviewed the songs Don't Shut Me Down and Just a Notion. Now I'm going to review the rest of the album. Before I begin, I wanted to state a few things. As I've said in earlier videos, I hold all music I listen to a standard. Okay, so I have an actual standard on music. Alright? This standard was set by the Bee Gees when they released their Saturday Night Fever album, and that is because on the album charts, when Saturday Night Fever was first released, it stayed on the album charts in the #1 position for 26 consecutive weeks. So I think they know how to do music. I really do. Now, that's a very, very high standard, I have to say that. And I also have to say that I hold all music that I listen to a second standard. And that standard was set originally by the rock band ABBA almost 40 years ago. Again, that's a very high bar. So criticizing the songs on this album will not be easy. It'll be very, very tough, to be honest with you. Despite what you hear throughout this video, I haven't changed my thoughts about the ABBA band. They are still the high bar, and always will be. I will start with the positives about this album and its songs. Benny Andersson should be lauded as one of the greatest music composers of all time. As far as the music itself is concerned, the compositions are just as brilliant as they were in the late 70s and early 80s. Every song on there, music-wise, was brilliant. I am not kidding you. It was absolutely brilliant. Agneta Faltz, and I can't pronounce her name. And I can't pronounce, I know Anna Fried, but I can't pronounce her last name. They provided some of the best vocals that I've heard in songs in a very long time. I have to say that. I look forward to hearing more of their vocals in the near future. And I will be the first to admit that I agree with their decision not to start an international tour at this time in their lives. Now, I hope ABBA does a commercial like this. I would love to see it. Really, this would be cool. Could you imagine these 4 people wearing their costumes the way that they did back in the prime of their careers at this age? Does anyone think that they could perform the same dance moves that they did years ago? I don't think so. I bet just climbing the steps to any stage they would have performed on would have been a real challenge. They would have been winded before they ever climbed the last step. I can tell you that. And they need to show this. Just show it on a commercial. It'd be wonderful. They would have a hilarious time. I'm surprised they were able to stay. I was surprised they were able to stay awake long enough as they did when they recorded their new songs. I'm like, I mean, when you get to be that age, staying awake is not an easy task. I can tell you that. I could have easily imagined them taking. Can you imagine if Benny was sitting at his piano playing and just suddenly fell asleep? That'd be funny. They could do this. If they wanted to make a hilarious commercial about this, they could actually do this, and it'd be so hilarious, people would love it. That would be a big promo for them. I would love to see them do this. Okay? Alright. So I'm not disappointed that they decided not to conduct an international tour. I don't know, they could have even boarded the plane, much less actually getting on that stage. So before I say anything negative, I will state that the song Bumblebee is a great new nursery rhyme for young children. I think young children will love that one. And I will also state for the record that adding a new Christmas song was a brilliant move. I'm glad they recorded it. It may not be exactly my cup of tea, but I still think it was a good song. There was no problem with it at all. And I wasn't surprised or disappointed that the first track on their new album was a very Swedish song. After all, they are a Swedish band, so that was fine with me. Like, what else would you expect? If you're going to have a Swedish song, there it is. You know, I didn't care about that. So, we've already now shown that Bumblebee and Little Things, and of course that first track on there that was very, very Swedish, that was no problem. They could have included all three and I would have said not a word, not even a syllable. Like, well, you know, it is what it is. They are a Swedish band, so why wouldn't they have it? Something like that. Alright. So let's deal with the rest of the songs on the album. I will start by asking questions about the song Keep an Eye on Dan. Okay, so we're going to focus on that song first. And here are my questions. According to the lyrics, why don't you love your husband anymore? That was never answered in the song. What makes you think that your ex-husband can't handle the responsibility of caring for your son? Why do you think that your ex-husband will forget when you will pick up your son? Was he irresponsible? Why does dropping off your son at your ex-husband's house still upset you? It might upset you the first time you do it, but it should become easier each time you drop him off. I mean, this is going to become a routine after a while. And why do you and your ex-husband divorce each other? That was never answered in the song either. And how far do you have to drive to take your child to your ex-husband? What do you plan to do while your ex-husband is caring for your child? Why did you and your ex-husband decide to name your son Dan? That was never asked. You know, I would ask more questions, but the answers would probably become obvious with just a little thought. So, what did I think of the actual song itself? This otherwise brilliant song does have one huge problem. The lyrics are very depressing and awful. And since Björn stated in an interview not that long ago that he was the one most of the time writing the lyrics of the song, the blame actually sits on his shoulders. He wrote these lyrics? Really? I'm sure he got help from the other three members of the group, but he wrote these lyrics? Why would you want to write something so depressing and awful? I could have thought of a better way to do this, and I'm going to discuss that here in a second. Alright? Why did you, Björn, have to write lyrics about a divorced couple? In an interview, you stated that this song had nothing to do with your divorce. Instead of writing a song about divorce from the perspective of the parents, why didn't you write a song about divorce from the perspective of the child called Dan? That would have been very refreshing. Couldn't this song have been a motivational song about Dan? Now, I will say this. Strictly on the lyrics themselves, not the whole song, just the lyrics, I give the lyrics an F-. But I give the rest of the song an A-. Okay? So, the song itself is an A song, it's just its lyrics are F. I totally flunked these lyrics. You could have done better, Björn, and I expect better. Alright, let's go through the next song called No Doubt About It. And yes, I bought both of these songs because they are, music-wise, they're good. They're really good, but the lyrics were just awful. I'll explain that again. Alright, according to the lyrics, what was the argument about? Why were you so upset? If you like this guy so much, why did you subject him to an argument like this? Didn't you think about what you were about to argue about before you started the argument? This guy seems to be a very patient husband. I think you should keep this guy in your life. Have you ever thought about seeking out counseling for what troubles your mind? once again, I have to pay another big compliment to Benny, because Benny made a very excellent song. This song sounds good. There's no question about it. Okay? And once again, Björn messed this whole thing up with such somber lyrics. Couldn't the lyrics be more relatable to the people listening to your song? Why not add an extra set of lyrics showing how the couple resolved the argument in an amicable way? Once again, I have to flunk the lyrics. The song gets an A, but the lyrics get an F. And that's a real shame, because these two songs were some of the best music I've ever heard. Why couldn't they have better lyrics? I don't know. Alright. I will review one final song, and then I will give my final thoughts on this album. I won't ask any questions about this song, because, well, there's reasons. Okay, the song I'm referring to is called I Can Be That Woman. I found this song very depressing. I felt very sorry for Tammy the dog. I think Tammy is more abused than either the husband or the wife. Why place Tammy through that much psychological drama? The couple in these lyrics need marital counseling bad. Once again, I have to give Björn an F- for the lyrics, and I have to give the song overall a B. It's slow, it's melancholy, it's depressing. It's not bad music, really. Benny did a good job again, but Björn, we don't need to talk about that. What about the rest of the album? I found most of the songs on this album sappy, sentimental, and boring. Does this make the album bad? No, doesn't make it bad at all. But if a person is listening to these songs, if a person listening to these songs isn't into sappy and sentimental, they may not like the album too much. And that's what I found. Like I said, I bought those two songs, and the rest of it I was like, take it away. Alright, but before I end this review, I will state the following. Why didn't ABBA finish their song, which is entitled Just Like That? Why didn't you finish that song? Well, a band named Björn Again actually finished your song, and they did a very excellent job. And from what clips I've heard of what you tried to do with that song, I would have to say Björn Unlimited, Björn Again, that band did a better job than any of your clips. Why don't you fix that song? It needs to be more up-tempo. Really does. Okay? It was Björn Again and not Björn Unlimited. I got this wrong on my fan page, so I'll fix that. I wish ABBA would join forces with Björn Again and improve the song that they finally finished. And yes, I will discuss the lyrics of this song because I think the song is brilliant, and I think it needs to be added to their Voyage album. But before I do, I want you to listen, and I gave you a link, and I will give you a link down in the comments, and not in the description below. I'll give you a link to what Björn Again actually did, and you can see it for yourself. Okay, according to the lyrics of the song Just Like That, where did you and this guy meet? How did you meet? What did he say or do that you found charming? Why did you consider this man handsome and smart? What lies did he tell you? If you knew he was just leading you on, why did you let him do it? If he made you cry when he left, why do you still fondly think about it? ABBA has yet to fix this song and fix it properly. And I think that's a real shame. Apparently they had created a demo tape and the tape was stolen. Someone published their demo tape on YouTube. That's how I got to listen to the original version of the song. I have to agree with ABBA that the original version is way too slow for general audiences. But Björn Again created a very brilliant version of this song. But even their version could be improved with the proper placement of violins. I encourage ABBA to contact Björn Again and create a masterpiece from this song. I know that this collaboration will work. I hope they take my advice. Alright. I want to thank you for watching this presentation. If you are watching this presentation and you happen not to be ABBA or Björn again, you are welcome to go over to ABBA's official YouTube channel, watch their videos, rate their videos, comment on their videos, subscribe to their channel if you'd like, and more importantly, tell them that Ted sent you. Alright, I will tell you more in a future video, so I'd like for you to stay tuned.